Chapter 14. Bend or Break. Yoon POV. The moment Taewang entered the room, he threw me on the bed harshly, letting me bounce on the soft mattress. I tried to scoot back with my shivering body, but it didn't obey me. I am sinking deeper into the bed, not because of the mattress, but because of the heavy gaze on me. He bent down, kneeing the bed near me, making the bed sink even more. I tried to crawl back to make some distance, but he wrapped his long, cold fingers around my ankle. "Where are you planning to run now?" he said in his angry but calm voice. I blinked my eyes, tried to push tears back as whenever I tried to cry or plead him on the way, he kissed my lips so roughly that I am sure they are swollen by now. His eyes became dark as he pulled me near him harshly and hovered above me. A scream escaped from my lips, not because of a sudden pull, but because of his closeness. I know what could happen to me tonight. I know what he meant by punishment. And that's the biggest curse for me. I know what I shouldn't. I remember what I wanted to forget so desperately. "I asked you something, didn't I?" he said, caressing my cheeks with dried tears while his body is in the air with the support of one hand. "Open your mouth before I open it with mine." Remembering his last kiss, my fingers unconsciously reached my lips, which he forcefully opened so many times tonight. Lips which is paining because of his torture. I am staring at the ceiling with a blank mind. I felt numb after decades. Every emotion was drained from me like my energy. I don't know, what should I tell him? What can I possibly say which won't trigger him? Which won't increase my pain? Which can calm his fire like anger? I returned from blankness and numbness into a room, beneath the person who is my so-called husband, when he snatched my hands and pinned them above my head. Another second, I can feel his burning lips on mine, devouring me mercilessly. I wanted to fight, to scream, to wiggle out of his grip, but I am too tired of anything. But tears flowed out of my eyes, wetting the bedsheet. After I didn't know how long, he broke the kiss, raising his head, staring at me with his emotionless face. "Was the question too hard for my baby? Let me replace it for you," he said as his one hand still captured my hands while another one started massaging my hair. I gulped hard, closing my eyes. Now what is in his mind? Why he can't just get lost and never come back? My closed eyes can't retain the tears inside them as I can feel him more close. His hands are massaging my hair while his hot breaths are fanning on my scared face. "Okay, so now tell me," he said so enthusiastically, like it's a quiz game, while in reality, this is a cruel game which will break me in the end. "Where were you planning to go with that loser?" His voice became darker, like he wanted to rip Kai apart. He was possessive whenever I used to talk with a boy at the university, but his hate for Kai is more than anyone can think. I can taste that sour taste of hatred in his voice, which actually once killed me. I shivered as he pecked my lips, providing me with a wave of pain. I tried to remove my hands from his grip, to push him away, but everything went in vain as my tired body was nothing in front of his muscular one. But another second, I froze when I felt his fire-like lips near my ears. "Concentrate on me, baby," he whispered before biting my ears. "Or should I do something to get your undivided attention for tonight?" I shoot open my eyes, shaking my head with my everything. My soul shuddered with his words. I can't let it happen. No girl can let it happen. No one can accept this fate. I cried harder but voicelessly. He reared back, staring at my teary eyes with his calm one. "Like this, baby. Give your whole attention to me if you want to save your virtue," he said as I cried harder, struggling under his grip. "Please, Taewang, leave me." I couldn't complete as his lips smashed on mine, making me cry harder. He didn't kiss me but stuck his lips between mine. My body vibrated under him because of my suppressed sobs, which were turning into acid, killing my hopes. His eyes are becoming darker every passing second as he is staring at me emotionlessly. But suddenly, a muffled scream echoed between our mouths as his teeth pierced my lips. My mind noticed unbearable pain as I struggled to get away from it. But he didn't budge, digging his sharp teeth even more. I closed my eyes, bearing the pain. My tears were streaming down like a waterfall as Taewang didn't show any mercy. After it seemed like eternity, he released my lips from its painful prison as I started sobbing loudly, closing my eyes even tighter when he harshly held my face, squeezing it. Still want to go to that useless man, huh? He snapped angrily, switching from a silent sea to a stormy one in a second. You forget he is still beneath my claws. My breath stopped, hearing his words. Now just see how I am gonna crush him under it. He released my hands, standing on his feet and storming out of the room. Before I could think, something in my body took the lead, and I jumped down the bed, running towards him, wincing from the pain in my legs, but it didn't stop me. Taewang is punching the codes in the door when I hold his hand, unsuccessfully tries to tug him back, but he keeps punching the code. The moment the door opened, he tried to jerk his hands from my grip, but I held it tighter with both hands. It's not just about hold, it's about the life of Kai. My Kai. What the hell, Yun? Get away before you regret. He said angrily. I shook my head like a child and snaked my hands to his arms, tightening the hold. Please, Taewang, don't do this. He tried to jerk my hand away, but I stepped closer, holding his hand tighter. I won't say that again. A sob escaped because of my further words. I won't run away. Please, please, I begged him with all my might, hoping that at some corner of this soulless devil resides a heart. At least a small part, even an inch. So he can feel my pain, he can understand my situation. But another second, I shoved those thoughts away, tightening the hold even more. Hopes motivate you to fight, but fake hopes can destroy you. I won't let him destroy me. He sighed disappointedly while his stiff hands relaxed under my hold. I looked up to see his blank eyes looking at me from head to toe. He again released a deep sigh before stepping near me. I forced my feet to stay on its place. From earlier, I know anything can trigger him, and I am not taking that chance. Before I could understand, he lifted me in his arms. I suppressed the urge to wiggle in his arms. I stared at his emotionless face, which was staring the front while walking as strongly as always. I never felt like I am with my Tay-Tay. He was never numb to anyone's pain. I remember how my tears used to affect him. You should be careful, now see what happened. He said in a concerned voice as my one hand is on his shoulder. I stumbled a bit while fisting his sweater from the hand which is around his shoulder. This is the first time I let him touch me, as I was unable to walk with my bleeding knees. So why not take help from someone you trust rather than a complete stranger? Stop lecturing me. This is the 10th time you are telling me this, I said, feeling irritated. It isn't a week of our relationship, and he is sticking with me like glue. It won't reduce my pain. I wish I could. I looked at him, not understanding what he meant. I could take every pain of yours for myself. My steps halted at his sincere voice. I saw a tear roll down from his cheek as he is staring me. Please be careful, I can bear any pain except yours. His voice is as deep as his words. My stopped tears again started flowing as I hid myself in his chest and cried. I cried for fear? For pain? Or for guilt? I don't know, but my tears aren't ready to stop. I sobbed loudly, trying to calm my soul, which is under the weight of an unknown burden. Am I the reason that a person like him turned into a devil? The room became dead silent. Only my sobs were echoing in it because of his halted steps. He sinks down on the bed while holding me tightly. He didn't shout at me for crying, for loud sobs from which anyone from outside can imagine him torturing me. On the other hand, he placed my head near his heart, patting it slowly. He didn't try to stop my tears. He gave me time to cry my heart out, like he knows I need it, that this will help me to lift the weight from my heart. All he did was just pat my head while I heard his racing heart. Half an hour flies, 10 minutes or just a second, I have no idea, but slowly I calmed down when my hiccups and sobs vanished, and finally I felt a bit better. I looked towards him to see if he was staring at me from the start. But his eyes express emotions unlike his face. I wiped my wet cheeks, blinking a few times with my puffy eyes. I made sure not to let a drop escape from them again. I sat straight on his lap and was about to get up when he snaked his hand on my waist and pulled me back. I didn't scream or struggle in his hold. If I say I was expecting something like this from him, it won't be a lie. I looked at him, preparing for some kind of threats. Why? I frowned as curiosity replaced fear in my eyes. Why do you always choose him over me? I can feel pain in his voice. I can see his eyes well up for a few seconds before he swallows it back. What he did, which I can't do, I am better than him in every way. Then why are you choosing the second best? Because he owns my heart and you don't. Didn't I love you? Do you doubt on my love? His other hand crawls on my knee, caressing it. My breath stopped as I shook my head. Then why did you choose him? I lowered my eyes, not wanting to voice my answer and put Kai's life in trouble. You don't love me, right? I shivered as his painful voice turned deep and dark. Lifting my face, he made me look at him. Right, baby girl? Yes, I said, knowing lying will not help either. It's better to say truth and suffer. At least you won't lose self-respect in your eyes. Taewang hummed calmly, but it didn't mean he was calm. The tight hold on my waist is telling another story, the real story. But still you're mine, he said in a not-to-argue tone, so I just kept my mouth shut, not wanting to shove myself for more pain. You will always be mine. No one can separate you from me. He said it like a fact. Who are you? He demanded. I gulped the lump, knowing I can't avoid this. If anything which can stop him now is my obedience. My acceptance of this fate, for the destiny written by this devil. Kim Yoon, I said, lowering my gaze, every day when I think I cannot be more helpless, he proves me wrong. He shattered every piece of hope I created with so much effort. Who am I? He asked as his cold fingers touched my chin, lifting it. I saw the anger in his eyes, anger not because of my answer, but a lack of attention. My body shuddered unintentionally, remembering his warning. My husband, I said, daring myself not to look away from him. And this is the toughest task till now. The urge to avoid his soul-piercing gaze is eating me from inside, but I need to bear it to make sure I don't fall into the same pit again, because this time there is no one to save me, no mom, dad or Kai. Who do you belong to? I closed my eyes, hating this question. It makes me feel like a thing rather than a human, a commodity he owns. You, I mumbled, but loud enough for him to hear it. But maybe he wasn't satisfied after stabbing my self-respect with this question, as he repeated. Who do you belongs to, baby girl? His voice contains a different type of threat while his one hand is rubbing my waist softly, increasing my fear even more. Kim Taewang. I looked at him with my teary eyes, but didn't let them betray me. Good girl, he said, kissing my head, which made me shiver under his grip. His forehead kiss doesn't have that security. Only Kai's has that magic, which can make me forget every pain and problem. My baby knows her place. Taewang looked at me with proud eyes like he had achieved something by forcing me, by making me vulnerable. But his next move made me hold his coat tightly as he snuggled on my neck. I shivered when his hot breath stroked my neck. Now tell me, who do you love? My heart stopped hearing his words. How can he ask this question after listening to my confession a few minutes ago? Can I change the answer for my sake? Will I ever be able to forgive myself after this? I came out of my thoughts when I felt him licking my earlobe. How much I wanted to push him and show him his place, but I restrained myself, not just for myself but for Kai. Quick, baby, or do you want me to remind you? I flinched when he bit my earlobe, before licking it like it would vanish the pain. You, I said as I felt disgusted by my own words. I felt disgusted in my mouth from which that word escaped. I felt disgusted in my brain, which gave me this solution to get away from him. But it didn't satisfy the devil. A small whimper escaped my lips when his teeth trapped my neck like a beast. You what? He asked in a demanding tone as my eyes brimmed with the swallowed tears. How much he will make me fall in my own eyes. I closed my eyes as tears slipped down my cheeks. I love you, I said in a cracked voice. How can my life switch from everything full of hope on a bright day to everything covered with ashes of my dreams and hopes in the darkness? He hummed, kissing my neck softly where he had bitten a few seconds ago, when he wasn't satisfied with my answer, while my body shivered from his every touch. Repeat, he said while his lips aren't sparing me. I closed my eyes, letting hatred crush me beneath it. I love you. Again. He said a bit more calmly, like my words are intoxicating him. I closed my eyes, obeying him, while every time those words are escaping from my mouth for him rather than Kai, my soul is dying. These words are acting like slow poison, killing the love I have for myself, which Kai helps me to believe I deserve. How ironic, the person who gifted me not his, but mine love too, snatched it the moment I betrayed him. After I don't know for how long, Taewang finally released me from his cage-like grip, looking at me with his loving eyes. It took everything inside me to restrain the urge to roll my eyes. But that softness soon replaced from darkness as his lips twitched in a smirk. Chills spread on my spine knowing he's up to something evil, something which isn't in my favor. "Prove it, baby," Taewang said, as I scanned his face to see if he isn't serious and just messing around. But no, my hope died when my gaze landed on his dead serious eyes. I gulped hard, trying to find a way to avoid this situation. But before I can come up with something, Taewang gripped my nape, craning my neck to look at him. "Kiss me, Kim-yoon." His words sound like a death sentence to my ears. I tried to get back, to figure out a way to get out of this situation, but his grip is not letting me make distance, while his eyes seized my brain. I swallowed the words I wanted to shower upon him with hate and licked my dry lips. Knowing there is no use in pleading in front of a heartless devil, I decided to get over with it. I leaned closer while my eyes welled up. My heart was racing, and my soul was cursing me with all its might. This is my internal war, the war between my brain, heart, and soul, where I am alone with my brain while the other two are staring at me with a loathing gaze. I closed my eyes, not able to see I am going to kiss someone willingly other than Kai. Not able to contain my guilt, my dried cheeks again got wet when I felt my lips connecting with Taewang's. I decided to give a quick and shallow kiss to get away from him, but his hand on my nape didn't allow me to back away. He deepened the kiss, molding my lips with his, dominating his tongue in my mouth. I stopped kissing him as his movement is too fast to catch. I just let him devour my mouth without any resistance, consoling myself he won't be angry with me. Slowly, my breath became heavy and ragged. I unsuccessfully tried to break the kiss, but when it didn't work, I patted his shoulder, trying my best to voice my struggles. But instead of understanding, he flips me from his lap to bed while our lips are still connected. Before I can push him, my hands are pinned on either side of my head. I felt my head spinning due to lack of oxygen, so I started shaking my head and finally, when I was on the edge of giving myself to darkness, he broke the kiss. But before I can take a lungful of breath, I hear the most horrified words escaping from his mouth, making me regret why I fight to be conscious. "Hell, I want you. I can't control myself anymore," he said desperately as his hand grabbed the hem of my t-shirt, lifting it. My body froze as the past flashed back in front of my eyes. My brain became numb, not processing anything, while my heart is just screaming for death. I don't want to live like this anymore. I can't survive with this fear anymore. But the moment humid air licked my stomach, I came out of trance and my hand dropped to the lifted cloth as I screamed. I covered my stomach like my life depends on it, or maybe not life, but my virtue. Not pure or perfect, but something pieced together once upon a time. "Taehyung, please." I sobbed loudly. "Please don't do this to me. Please forgive me." I didn't let my sobs cut my words as I wanted him to hear it clearly. I cried while looking at him, hoping to get some pity from his side, but the moment he understood my words, his confused eyes turned darker like a moonless night. "I am your husband." He grabbed both of my hands and pinned them above my head. "I own your body, every inch of your body, I have rights on you." He snapped angrily. I shook my head while my body was in a cage from his. "I can't let this happen, I won't be able to survive it, I am not strong enough to piece together my shattered pieces alone. Please don't do this." I shuddered. I felt his warm lips on my stomach. I cried harder while trying to wiggle out of his grip. "Please, Taehyung, you said you love me, please don't do this to your love." I felt him freeze above me while I stared into his dark, emotionless gaze. He looked at me blankly for a few seconds before getting up from me. "Dare to step down from bed, and I will break your legs." I shivered from his words as he turned around and stormed out of the room.
Taewang's POV. "Please, Taehyung, you said you love me, please don't do this to your love." My mind recalled her words as I balled my hands in anger. Not that she lied, I love her, even after everything she did, I still love her. And I can't hate her in the worst, she is my life, my blessing. I unballed my hands, remembering her stupid attempts to fool me. Just a bit brat, but still, I can't hate her. Just like you were never able to hate her. My inner voice asked as my relaxed body again became stiff. I clenched my fist as blood started boiling inside me. But I killed her. My mind retorted. I smirked while remembering her screams, her pleas, even when I had never been able to hate her, still, I didn't show any mercy to her. Please, Tae, please have some mercy. I will love you, I will always be there for you. I regret it, please forgive me. Guilt tried to claim me when her words echoed in my ears, but I consoled myself, knowing she deserved it. Not because of what she did to me, but what she did to everyone, how she destroyed so many lives because of her lust for power. But it didn't help, my inner battle again started, attempting to make me insane. Well, no worries, I know how to get away from this. I smirked as the main door opened, and I saw all the guards bowing. There are more men than normal because no one will sleep today. I know I am torturing my staff, but they need to remember there is a person in the mansion who means everything to their master. And if I have to remind them of this daily, I won't hesitate. I took fast steps towards the room which will make me calm my anger, and this time I know it will. As my prey is special tonight. I opened the door only to see the dark room, well, not darker than me obviously, with only one small source of light, while the smell of the room doesn't have the blood and sweat. Well, when I decided to keep my baby girl here, I made sure the room was fresh and had no evidence of things happened here before. I didn't divert my gaze from my weapon to the person who is a living punching bag for my men. Stop. As Den took back his fist, which was on the way to his ribs. I hoped you enjoyed, but now it's time for your departure, I said, pointing my gun at him. Suddenly, the sound of a gunshot echoed around the dark room and then the scream of that coward. But I frowned, as it's not from my gun. I again looked towards the hanging figure to see him alive. Before I could understand something, my both men walked away from the room. I again frowned as anger rose in me. I think I need to remind them of something else, too. But then I saw a small figure leaning on the door. I looked away, gritting my teeth. I need to do something about this shorty, he is getting on my nerves. I walked towards the door while glaring at the person because of whom I wasn't able to complete my job. Spying on me is dangerous. I halted my steps and turned towards him. For me. Jin Woo raised his eyebrows like shocked with my words, or I say mocking a shocked expression. I released an irritated breath. This shorty knows too much about me to know what I can do. For the one who is doing it, I said, turning my heels towards the only place which can help right now. By the way, what did you offer that he is ready to risk his life? I glared at every man around me, knowing one of them is taking my salary but working for him. I swear that the moment I find him, he will be the example of betraying me. If he can tell Jin Woo, he can tell an outsider too. He is your man, Tae, he won't spill the beans for nothing. He followed me from a safe distance, like I could throw a punch any time. I nodded, they are my men, who else will know them better than me, and maybe that's the reason I am more angry now. It is unexpected from their side, they know the rules and also know what will the outcome of this, still they called this goddamn shorty. Must be precious that they betrayed me. I chewed every word as I stood in front of the bar counter. That's where you are wrong, they will never betray you. Jin Woo stood beside me. I nodded, expecting it from him. At least someone is doing what I expect them to. Mind telling me why are you so eager to mingle your nose in my business? I opened an expensive Cognac and poured 2 glasses. Because I am not just your business partner. Silence covered the place as I accepted his words. He is right. He is my savior, my friend, the one who knows everything about me, every worst thing, every crime, every sin, but still chooses to stick by my side. Why are you here? To save you. I glared at him, looking at his audacity to lie so bluntly. I closed my eyes, gulping down the liquid in one go. My throat started burning, but my heart is burning more. Yun's plea is ringing inside my head, while this shorty stopped me from killing that loser. I saw who exactly you saved. I spat angrily. You can't kill him, Tae, stop making stupid decisions. He said, while my grip tightened on the glass. So should I give my wife's hand to him, so he can separate me from her? I turned towards him, while my eyes were throwing fire. He tried to take my yun, he will regret it. I jerked him forward with his collar. Trust me, he will curse you for saving him tonight. I pushed him harshly, filling another glass of cognac. Tae love her. The moment she understands it, Jinwoo tried to defend their side, not knowing they lost long ago. The moment I got to know about that loser around this house, I understood why my brat is so obedient these days. Love doesn't change someone's real colors, it just hides them from us. I looked towards him while gulping another mouthful of that intoxicating liquid. I will handle it on my own. How exactly? He folded his hands in front of his chest, clearly telling me he wasn't satisfied with my answer. I picked up the half-empty bottle of cognac and turned my heels. He didn't stop glaring at me. I don't understand why he is so much interested in Yun, not that I don't trust him, but still, my possessive beast can't ignore it. You don't need to worry about my wife, I said before exiting the room. Taking my fast steps towards the car, I climbed inside it. I am not drunk right now, but the urge to drink is trying to control me. Tonight I will celebrate this freedom and my baby's imprisonment at once. She thought her punishment was over, even when I didn't start it. She will suffer every day for playing with my emotions again. I gave you time to bend for this relation, my love, now I will break you. I smirk at the satisfying thought.
Author POV. The stick doesn't break easily, which are flexible. The tree that survives the storm bends with the air. Water never stops as it changes its way. Everything which is hard to destroy accepts changes. The same thing is with life. If we accept changes than being stubborn, we can again achieve the happiness we deserve. But we hang on the same thing like a stubborn stick, which is ready to break, but not bend. If we don't bend in front of our destiny's decisions, it breaks us. Will Yoon and Taewang be able to understand the clues life is giving them? Or they will choose to break themselves and their partner while fighting it? What do you all think? Comment down below. And please like, comment and subscribe if you are enjoying the story.